Just taking a moment here to notice how you're feeling. You can have your eyes closed. Scanning your physical body from the toes all the way up to the head. And I'm taking a deep inhale and exhaling through the mouth, letting it go. And then, as you're inhaling, notice your breath flowing through your nostrils all the way up between your eyebrows. Noticing your thoughts here and how you're feeling mentally today. And then again, a deep inhale. And then exhaling it, releasing it, maybe softening the body here, the face, the neck. And bringing your hands to the heart space, to your chest. Noticing your heartbeat. And notice how you're feeling emotionally right now. How is your heart today? Taking a deep inhale into your chest. Exhaling, letting it go. You can release your hands here, just taking a few more moments to just notice your breath and imagine how all the pieces of yourself arrive now here onto your mat. And maybe you've already set your intention for tonight, why you're here, what you would like to explore or be reminded of more. If you're not completely sure, that's completely fine. We can also just stay open to what arises. And then whenever you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. If you have a candle in front of you, you can just gaze at the candle flame. And then you can lift your gaze. So if we would be in a physical space together now, we would let our gaze wander to everyone in the space so we can connect. And since we can't do that with our physical eyes, let's just imagine, for a moment, energetically, like that you're all here, present, practicing dragons, taking this time. Maybe someone is here live, maybe someone will watch it later, just knowing we are interconnected with each other, no matter where we are in time and space. Welcome to this Mini Dragon Journey. So actually this is the start of the class, But I like to take a moment every time in the beginning to just, arrive into the space, settle in. And I think that's a thing we rush through often in our day-to-day lives. We don't properly start things, and we also don't properly close or finish things. So we're like in this whirlwind already, a few steps ahead in our mind, our body's somewhere else, our emotions are also on a different, level. So like, how can we just bring everything more to here, even if just for, a few moments? So we can notice when we're not, in our bodies, our minds are going crazy. Yeah, I had an interesting conversation yesterday, and this might be connected to today's class. And it's that this person said that when he's not connected to his heart, then it feels like he's in the ocean and there are big waves, and he's, just like being dragged around, by the water, and he's drinking salt water, and he can't, grasp what's above, what's below, and that's like how he realizes he's not in his heart. That's how his life feels, and his thoughts are, the waves, and so that's kind of a really nice picture. So Yin helps us to, be more here. And tonight we'll be practicing the dragons. And the dragons can be very transformative. They can be challenging, but also very liberating, because they require presence, in our physical body, with our emotions, and also our thoughts. As it's getting intensified, we're in stillness, we can't escape, and it doesn't feel comfortable. So if you have right now a situation in your life where you feel like things are not moving, or you can't find a proper solution, you can, bring that situation to actually this dragon practice. And maybe it's not an outer thing, maybe it's an inner thing, and maybe it's nothing of that. So you can just see what comes up, because for some reason you're here and practicing this, dragon journey. So if you don't have blocks, you might want to grab pillows or blankets or books, whatever you have, and place them at the front of your mat. So wherever your head will be, so you can figure that out for yourself. And then, because we'll be putting some pressure on our knees, it's quite nice to have either a kind of low pillow, like some kind of pillows like this, or a blanket in the area where your knees would be. So that just feels very nice. But we'll start off this practice by lying flat on our backs. So basically we're starting in Shavasana. For that, you can just lie down. You can remove whatever is under your mat. And extend your legs on the mat, letting your feet fall out. Your hands can be either placed on your hips or next to your physical body with the palms facing up. Tucking the chin slightly in so your neck is nice and long. Maybe walking the shoulder blades away from each other. And then just taking a few deep breaths here. When you feel ready, you can close your eyes. Just imagining how your eyes are falling deeper into the eye sockets. Releasing your jaw here, your hips, your feet. And we'll be taking 3 deep breaths through the nose in, imagining how the breath flows through the feet all the way up to the head. And exhaling through the mouth, letting it go. And scanning your body here from the toes to the top of the head. Allowing the breath to flow, and with every exhale, your body becomes heavy. from here, you can bring your hands to your hips if that feels good, or you can let your palms be open to the sky next to the body. Taking a few deep breaths here, we'll inhale through the nose in. Hold the breath for a moment and then exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Repeating this for 3 times, and with every exhale, your body relaxes deeper into the mat, allowing yourself to become heavy. During these breaths, I want your breath to just flow. You can bring your awareness to all the body parts touching the floor. Giving yourself permission to rest. And knowing it's safe to be in your body, to be with your thoughts, to be with what you feel in your heart. In this calm space, noticing if you want to set an intention for this dragon journey. It can be a simple sentence or reminder. A reminder not just for now, but for when you step off the mat and when you meet those challenging, uncomfortable moments in the day-to-day life. Once you have your sentence, repeat it 3 times internally. Planting the seed in your heart, in your subconscious. And so slowly start moving your toes to your hands and fingers, your face. Maybe moving the head from side to side, waking up the neck, moving the jaw, and then reaching your arms behind your head, and extending through the feet and the hands. And from here, you can either bend your knees and roll over to one side, or whatever. Maybe gently wiggling the hips from side to side as you're lying on your belly. And coming onto your forearms into Sphinx. So for Sphinx, you want to bring your palms to touch the floor, and your elbows and your shoulders are about in a line, as linear, bones and body are. And then you can just Take your feet slightly wider if you feel pressure in your lower back. If your lower back is sensitive, but you can also keep your feet closed if that feels better in your body. And from here, we're gonna let our upper body roll forward, maybe shaking the head slightly out, and then inhaling, opening the heart here gently. Gently releasing your shoulders down towards the earth. Tucking the chin slightly in so we don't put pressure onto our neck. And since this is yin, it's okay to gently hang in your shoulders here. It doesn't have to be super straight yin. If you want, you can take whatever prop suits you and place it under your forehead as an extra support. And here we're breathing through our spine, allowing our shoulders and shoulder blades to relax down towards the earth, creating space in our upper body with that. Great space to tune into the heart. Noticing we are holding on to tension in the body that is not needed. It can be your legs, your jaw, and neck. Bringing awareness to wherever you feel the most sensations in your physical body, or just paying attention to your breath going in and out, not holding your breath back. Taking a few more breaths here. And then carefully release your prop to the side. And very carefully lower down onto your belly, placing your hands under your forehead as a little pillow. And breathing through the full body here. Maybe gently wiggling the hips. Making your yin way here into hands and knees. Noticing every single movement. For our dragons, this is our base posture. Our knees are about hip distance apart, and our hips and our knees are about in a line. And same goes for our wrists and our shoulders. And the hands are about shoulder wide apart here. And if it feels good in your body just to move some energy, you can take a few deep breaths here in cat and cow. Inhale and gently opening the heart here, releasing the shoulders down, arching the back. And then exhaling, rolling your back, pulling the belly button in. Do this in your own pace, and maybe if you're used to this from more than that, you'll practice immensely. Imagine it, it's like hot chocolate melting. As you finish your last round, you can come back to neutral. And from here, take a look at your knees. We'll be taking your knees slightly apart, so they can be mat distance apart, or just slightly wider than your hips, bringing the big toes to touch, and then sitting onto your heels into child's pose. You can walk your hands forward and place the forehead either on a block or just on the mat. Releasing your elbows onto the floor and just taking a few deep belly breaths here. Really filling the belly up. The belly feels very sensitive. There might be some undigested things going on. With every exhale, you allow your upper body to sink deeper into the mat, releasing your glutes, your thighs, your jaw, your neck. Base here. Breathing into the spine. Maybe asking your vertebrae how they are. If they feel taken care of. Taking 3 final breaths here. Noticing your hands touching the floor. And slowly walk your hands back and come into tabletop. Resting in stillness for a moment. In between the poses we do, so we can notice its effects in our minds, physical bodies, and emotions. Be slowly moving into our dragons. For that, you might want to pad your knees and have your props in front of you, maybe 2 blocks. And maybe you don't need them, but trust me, once you're in the dragons, you don't want to move too much. Also, if you need to go to the bathroom, this might be a good moment. So, we will be taking our hands slightly forward just to create some space and bringing the right hand towards the left hand, basically in between the knees. From here, we're gonna step our right foot forward in a baby dragon. You can slide your left knee towards the back of the space, but just know that the further away your knee is from the front knee, the more opening there is happening, so it might be too much. So just notice to find the sweet spot where you do feel challenged, but also not too much, so that you can breathe and stay here for 2-3 minutes. So you might want to use your blocks under the hands, tucking the chin slightly in, opening the heart here, and releasing. As you're here, you can close your eyes. And taking a few deep breaths into the hips. Maybe exhaling through the mouth if needed. And then staying with whatever comes. When we exhale, we let our tailbone drop down a little bit there. Trying to stay open in our chest here. Just noticing if you're shifting tension from one body part to another. Or if you get stuck with specific thoughts and memories. If you do and you want to release it, you might just want to take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, stick the tongue out. And repeat. This you can do whenever needed throughout the practice. Taking 3 more deep breaths into your hips here. And from here we're going to move directly into Winged Dragon. For Winged Dragon, you can point your feet or your toes to the outer edge of your mat. Another option is to let your right knee drop to the right side, coming onto the right outer edge of your foot. So this will intensify, that opening in the hip flexor as well as into your right thigh, inner thigh. Keep breathing deeply here. Noticing the head and the shoulders. And sometimes it helps to imagine how you're breathing through your genitals in and out. Listening to the body, there's something that feels very intense, but is not necessarily sharp pain. Talk to it, ask it for its message. And if you've never done that before, that might sound weird. You might not get, just like a answer in a clear sentence as you imagine asking a person. There might be messages appearing later, or during it, or pictures, ideas. Three final breaths here. Slowly going to bring our foot back onto the earth and removing your props to the front of the mat and bringing your right hand to the right edge of your mat as we move from here into sleeping dragon, or also known as sleeping swan. For that, we'll be walking our right foot towards our left wrist and then bringing that leg down onto the earth. You can come onto your fingertips here, just like gently lift yourself up and out of the hips for a moment, and then carefully lowering down into the lower arms. If there's lots of space between your right buttocks and the earth, you might want to put something beneath it. It can be a blanket, a towel, a block, whatever you need, go. And then in front of you, you can either have your blocks, fingers can be interlaced, or you can have it on your pillow. Taking a few deep breaths here, alright? Gently center your weight here. And if your body invites you, you can lower down completely. Deep breaths here. Softening in the front and the back of your heart. Releasing the jaw. Allowing emotions to rise up. you're capable to hold space for yourself because you're not alone in this practice. And the armors around the heart, not the weight. The ones that are not needed. Every exhale, the body moves more towards the earth. Letting the bones become heavy. Five final breaths here. When you feel complete, you can just exit this pose by kind of falling to the right side, rolling over your right side, placing your right arm under your head as a pillow in a fetal position. Nesting. Just taking a moment to notice what's happening inside you. Coming back to your intention, to the heart. And slowly making your way back into tabletop. Now we'll be placing our left hand in the middle towards the right hand, stepping our left foot forward into baby dragon. And again, you can slide your right knee as much as you want to the back of the room. And this side can feel completely different. Use whatever props needed. I won't be saying too much on this side, so you can just tune in. and explore. Taking deep breaths into the belly and just allowing your hips to soften, to let go of that grip that's holding on and trying to control this. And close your eyes, release your jaw and your toes. And maybe smile in between to notice if that shifts anything in your emotional, physical, and mental state. Next exhale, stick your tongue out if you want. Five final breaths here. Winged dragon. Turn your left toes to the side, or let your left knee fall to the left side, coming on the outer edge of the left foot. Deep breaths into your hips. Letting the fire feel not to the resistance, all the resistance that holds you back, and truly turning into the heart, listening to it, and then take the action needed. The action might be simply to rest, or maybe it's to move, get things moving. Softening into the heart here. Maybe visualizing the candle flame at the center of your heart, your inner light. Taking your final breath here. As you carefully come back into baby dragon, moving the props to the front of your mat. As we bring our left hand to the outer edge of our foot, as we walk our left foot to the right wrist for sleeping dragon. Lifting yourself gently up and out of the hips for a moment. As you slowly come down onto the forearms, taking whatever shape you need, and really paying attention to your weight being equally distributed here. And you might want to take something under your left buttocks. Allowing your body to open to you in its own pace. You're imagining a waterfall above you, clearing what needs to be cleared. Helping you to release, to let it go. Sometimes there are no solutions. Can we accept that? And be present with how that makes us feel. Letting those feelings for a moment take over. Maybe it's despair. Maybe it's anger, grief. Maybe even joy. Like, wait a moment, I don't have to solve it? Amazing. Giving it away. And as a symbol, you can take a deep inhale into the belly and exhale, stick the tongue out. Taking your final breaths. Soften. And then slowly release by rolling over onto your left side into fetal position. You're cozy up here. Noticing what's happening in your heart space. And from here, roll onto your back. If you want, you can hug your knees in for a moment. And then bring your feet down to touch the floor. Moving into a twist here. For that, if you want, you can grab a pillow or a block and place it next to your right hip. Bring the hands onto your hips here. As you lift your hips gently and move them for a few centimeters or inches to the left, it's just going to create more space, more lower back. Lifting your left leg and placing it on top of the right, letting it soften and relax. If you want, you can run it all around your right leg. And then exhaling, letting your knees fall out to the right side. If you want, you can look to the opposite side or keep your head neutral. Hands can touch the body or just be placed to the sides. Deep belly breaths here. Bringing the energies back to your center. And as you exhale, imagine how the energies that don't belong to you, the responsibilities you took over that are not yours to solve, you can release them now, giving yourself the permission to fully deal with yourself. There's no one you have to save. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. And slowly bringing the hands to touch your physical body. If your hand is to the side, center it first. And with the support of your hands, guide your knees back to center, placing both feet to touch the floor. Taking a full breath in and out. Inhaling, lifting the hips and gently moving them towards the right side. As you bring your right leg up onto the left. If you use props, you might want to switch them now to the opposite side. Exhaling your knees to the left side. Taking the same variation with your hands and your head as before. Deep belly breaths. Doing 5 more deep breaths here. And then centering your head, bring your hands to touch your thighs as you guide your knees back to center. Placing both feet on the ground for a breath in and out. From here, you lift your feet up and you bring your hands between your knees and grab the outer edges of your feet for a happy baby pose. The soles of your feet point towards the sky, knees are headed towards the earth. You can walk your shoulder blades away from each other and tuck the chin slightly in so your whole spine is grounded. If you want, you can gently press your lower back into the floor here. No pulling, just letting gravity take over for a moment. And slowly bring the knees into your chest, hugging yourself here. Making your way to Shavasana, our final posture. If you want, you can place a rolled blanket or bolster under your knees for extra lower back support. Legs are extended, walking the shoulder blades away. Hands can be on the hips or next to the body, palms facing up to the sky. And as we did in the beginning, take three deep breaths through the body, in through the feet, all the way up to the head. At the top, hold the breath for a moment, then exhale through the mouth. Repeat for 2 more times. And let go of your breath here, allowing the body to soften. Integrating this practice, knowing this is a safe space for you to relax and recharge. Remember your intention here and repeat it 3 times internally. Start deepening your breath. Bring movement into your hands, your feet. Maybe even moving your head gently from side to side. And then take your arms over the head for a nice stretch. Hugging your knees into the chest, then rolling over to your right side. Breathing through the heart in and out here. And with the eyes closed, you can make your way into a seated position for our final meditation. Your hands can be in your feet, on your knees. Palms can face up or down. Chin slightly tucked in. Inhaling lengthening to the crown of your head. Exhale, imagining how you're sitting back, so you can soften. Bringing awareness to your top of the nose and to the nostrils as the breath moves in and out. Noticing the temperature as you inhale and the temperature as you exhale. Bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Connecting here to what you appreciate about life, about beauty, about what's pleasurable and joyful. And from this place, we'll be closing the space with a AUM, from the base of our spine to the crown of our head. If you're arming for the first time at your home, that's a great dragon to ride. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then inhale for on. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. Take your time. Maybe you want to journal, or you want to just sit in meditation or go straight to bed, have some nourishing dinner or breakfast wherever you are. And pay attention to, wants to be released. Space that wants to be free, liberated. Internal and external.